Okay, today we're going to do a voltage drop test. I have a fairly cheap digital multimeter with no hold function, and this is probably what most people have out there. We're going to go with my setup here. As you can see here, I've disconnected my ballast resistor so my engine won't start. Now on a 6-volt car, you won't have this. So you can disconnect your coil. Right here, I've got a little jumper wire hooked up so I can spin the engine over under the car. I just touch this on a positive terminal. And there you go. Okay. So we're going to do the negative cable first. I've got my alligator clip hooked up here to the negative terminal, the black one. Positive terminal is hooked to the other end of the negative battery cable. We're going to test the voltage drop across the negative battery cable. So all you need to do once it's hooked up and you've got your meter set to read 20 volts DC, spin the engine over and look for maximum voltage. So it looks like 0.12 volts on that cable, which is good. So next we're going to test the short positive cable in my car. Okay, I've got it set up. Goes from the battery, positive in my case. I've got 12 volt positive ground. And it's the short cable that hooks to the other end, hooks to the solenoid. So we'll take my little jumper, spin it over, and watch the voltmeter. Looks like 0.07 volts was the drop on that short cable, and that's good too. Now we're going to test the cable that goes from the solenoid to the starter. In this case, you always want to hook the red connection, the red alligator clip, up to the end of the cable closest to the positive terminal. And in my case, it'll be the end of the cable on the solenoid. In a 6-volt positive ground, it would be the other way around. Just remember, red goes to the cable end closest to the positive. All right, let me get this one hooked up. And there we go. So now we're going to test the cable that goes from the solenoid to the starter. Get my little jumper. It's like 0.18 volts, and that's good. Now the last thing to test in this circuit is the solenoid itself. So I'm going to hook my red alligator up to the solenoid terminal closest to the battery, positive, and hook my negative on the other end. And then, right now, we're reading maximum battery voltage, and that's normal because you're reading across an open, so that's expected. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to energize the solenoid, and when those contacts close, we're going to see what that voltage drop is across those contacts. That looked like that was more than 3 volts. Let's try that one more time. I got 0.49, which is high. See, that was 5.5 volts momentary. A lot less running, so it works obviously, but I suspect the quality of that solenoid. And that's how you do a voltage drop. Not much to it. Just remember, anything over 0.2 volts is probably something that needs to be looked at.